Well, I found a couple of new spots on my Google Maps that we're going to go try this morning, see if we can't find a little bit of gold. I got Rigby Dog with me. Moose is in the back. But we just wanted to wait till it warmed up just a little bit. And it has. Look at this. It's already 16 degrees. Perfect. Let's go get some gold. Back in a bit. Hello and welcome back to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. I'm Jason. That's Rigby. We're part-time gold prospectors based in Wisconsin. And I just took a 2-mile hike through some of the worst thicket you could possibly imagine on a hunch. And I did make it to the spot I found on Google Maps, and it doesn't look very good at all. We're going to pan around here and I'll kind of show you why it doesn't look all that good now that I'm here, but I'll also show you one of the reasons this place caught my eye on Google Maps. Back in a bit. All right, now we just came right through all that stuff, 2 miles that way. Unless there's 1 ounce gold nuggets laying everywhere, it's not going to pay for me to hike all the way back in here again, but we will find out. Now, as I said, I'm going to show you one of the reasons why this place caught my eye on Google Maps. Because of that big hill right there. It kind of comes down real steep and closer to the edge of this small body of water, this little creek here. And typically the hills like that in this area of Wisconsin are going to be consisting of glacial till. And now that glacial till, I would say darn near all of it has a little bit of gold scattered here and there in amongst it. But you're looking for creeks and other bodies of water to concentrate that material down and deposit it in areas like low pressure zones behind little boulders and small dams made by logs, etc. And this one here is just, I think, a little bit too far away from that hill. It looked a little bit closer on Google Maps, but now that I see down inside of the water here, there's for 2 mile or the last half mile, I haven't seen any gravel deposits built up in any banks or anything like that. I do see some amount of rocks inside of this water here. Let me get in there. There are a few rocks like that one there, you know, and there are some here. And this might be a pretty good spot for maybe some of the gold that floated up over the years and washed over this big root system here, acting like a dam and getting deposited down behind this thing here. Let me break some of this ice up here. Here we are. This might actually be a pretty good spot. This is my first time even coming over by this little waterfall here. So that is going to be obviously my first target right here. Now that I'm here, I do see some amounts of gravels down inside of there. That's the first I've seen of it in a while. So these guys are pretty excited to be at a new spot today. I'm going to try to find a different way out of here because I just came right out of there and that is horrible, absolutely horrible. I mean, I haven't bent over like that so many times. Well, I never have. All right, let me grab my shovel, my pan, and we'll take a couple samples right out of here, because in ultra high water, this thing is acting just like a huge riffle. And if there's any amount of fair to decent gold in here, this is where I'm going to look first. So let's do that. Back in a bit. Update 311. Just a little ways away from that, left and right. Now we were just right there. Now this whole thing, this little dam goes all the way across this thing right there. Look at that. And then there's another one there. That stuff is extremely old. Those old roots and logs covered up with ice in there. So I might have a couple of different spots, and I can see some boulders down inside of there. So this actually might be part of that old hillside, you know, eons ago, that just kind of flattened out over time. So maybe we will do something here. I'll be checking both of these spots. These guys here, they're having fun busting through the ice. Back in a bit. Well, I think what I'm going to do first is do a little classifying, because it's you can really pan down a lot of material fast if you run it through a classifier first. Now I do have my super sluice, but I can still, especially with this sandy material here, I can still classify and pan out faster than I can just with that super sluice and running my hand trying to get out all those rocks. So let me get a big man-sized pan full, classify it up, and we'll see if there's anything in this stuff. And I do see gold. There is gold. Let me get this in my black pan and we'll look at it a little closer. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I saw 3 pieces in there. Oh, look at my pan's already solid ice. Right there. There's a couple pieces of gold. Looks like 3 to me. Ah, focus you. There we go. Hey, look at that right off the bat, first pan. Tell you what, let me run about 10 pans and we'll throw it in my black pan and see what it looks like. This got some potential here. I was pulling out some really good sized cobbles. Look at here, look at these here. And that was just the first 2 scoops. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try to find a clay layer, because I've always had pretty good luck with that. And maybe move some of these great big huge rocks around in here. There's some pretty big ones. So let me get to work. Back in a bit. Video update 9. Well, I did it. I found some clay here. I decided to stay in that same hole. Here's that material I'm pulling out of there now. And look right on the tip of that shovel right there. There it is. There's the clay. That's only down about, well, I'd say 1.5 feet, which is pretty typical for around here. You know, it may be deeper or shallower in certain spots depending upon how much current you have and what the material, the ground is made out of. But 1.5 feet isn't bad at all. So I'm gonna fill my pail up here with some of the material coming out of that clay and see what comes of it. Back in a bit. All right, video update 6 1/4. I got a pretty good sized hole in there, and I've been finding specks here and specks there down in that clay. Nothing to crow about, and I'll show you guys that gold in a little bit. But I noticed something about this little log here going across. Noticed a little bit of a dip right here, where you can see the main current when it's starting to really heat up is going right over the top of here. And right down on the back side are a number of larger boulders around in here and some bigger rocks. Now, I was digging off to the side there just a little bit, like right in there. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try like right here where, like I said, where most of that current starting off is going right there. And then as the water recedes, it's still coming over right here and depositing materials right here. So I'm going to move these boulders and see if I can find something special under that stuff right there. Back in a bit. Yeah. Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, here's another big one. Yeah. There. Some of them out of there. Yeah. All right. Hopefully I can get my shovel down in there now. Back in a bit. Now remember, when it's really freezing out, you got to either keep your pan under the water or you got to keep it full of water. So I'll just throw a big rock right in here under the water. That'll keep that from freezing up. It is froze, but maybe I'll unthaw it a little bit. Oh yeah, we hit clay already. Well, we've been testing here a little bit here and a little bit there. I did some under there. I think I got 2 little specks out of there. Then I pulled back, like I said, and I dug a pretty good sized hole right there. And I pulled that rock out of it. And there maybe have been 2 or 3 little tiny weeny dots in there. So there's nothing fantastic. There are definitely better spots, a lot closer to the road than this one. And we still got quite a hike back through all that garbage right there. I might try to take that ridge up there. It kind of goes in the same direction, and see if I can follow the sun a little bit. That thing up there. Because that's a nightmare. I think I might sample, let's see here. I might go up in there, right there. It looks like there might be somewhat of a little deposit there. Let's see if we can get up there. Right in the middle of the creek here. Looks like there's a decent amount of cobbles just kind of out of the middle of nowhere here. And then the creek runs off, you know, it's miles and miles and miles of nothing. So let me take a quick sample out of here and we'll see if we can rustle us up something out of there. And note to you guys and note to self, there's hardly any black sand here at all. I've been doing some mighty big pans and coming up pretty short of black sand. And what is here is extremely powdery fine black sand. So let me see if I can find a little something special right there. Back in a bit. Well, we grabbed us a nice sample out of right there. And there's no gold in that one either. And I dug a nice deep hole in here. And I really had a nice heaping pan full classified down. I just put that right in my pan. But I mean, there's the lack of sand right here, is the lack of black sand rather, is baffling for sure. I mean, this is all glacial till, and I'm getting down to the clay in a number of these spots. It's just not here. So I think this spot here, it was nice to walk back here. It's great scenery and the dogs are having a great time. But as far as coming back here to mine for a day, I don't think I'm going to put that on my calendar anytime soon. So I think possibly, maybe I'll stick a little bit closer to the creek than I had imagined or intended on the way back out of here. And we'll see if we can find something that wasn't on my Google Maps that maybe has a little something more to offer. Back in a bit. Well, I decided to stop here just to give the dogs a rest. You know what I mean? I look way down this hill here. And there's that creek. Widens out right here a lot. I might take a little walk down there and do a little sampling. But I can see right there that this hill right here is bleeding water out. And I would be willing to bet that that right there is about 2 feet deep of black muck that I might not get out of. Yikes. So I think maybe I'll try to work my way up alongside this hill here and go down over there or something. See if I can get a sample out of some of this stuff here. I mean, I do have waders on, but I might not be able to get out of there. What do you think, Rig? You ready to start going again? He says, you kidding me? Back in a bit. It's the Chris Lilly Rock of the Week. Now, there's nothing all that special about this rock right here. I just wanted to roll it down that hill because I thought it'd be cool. So let's see if I can roll this down the hill for Chris. I sure can. Back in a bit. I tell you what, being way up here, and we are way up here for around here, I can get a vantage point. I never really thought about hugging the top of this ridge here, but I've been able to see the creek here and there pretty decent. And right down there is a nice inside bend, and it doesn't look too swampy down there. I think I might go and take a little sample out of right there. I made it. All right, let me get down there. Back in a bit. All right, we made it down here. There's that rock I just threw. We're way up there. Here's what I'm talking about when I look down and I see swamp. Look at that here. I just kind of stepped in it a little bit here, and it is absolutely black muck. And you step in the wrong spot around here. Oh, I'm stuck right now. You step in the wrong spot around here, you're gone. This is shallow, and I've been in up to over my knees already, and it's tough to get out. Look at that. I'm just squishing in everywhere here. So I think there's no gravels or anything right here, but I can see really fast looking water up there. Like this is a split off. Right around the other side must be another little creek or something connecting up right over there. So let's go over there and take a look. Back in a bit. All right, Moose says time to go. Well, we made it down here, and there's quite a bit more water here, and I don't know if there's another creek that runs off and into this thing here, or if there's just that much spring water coming out of the hills. Now, nothing about this spot being close to a hill or anything like that tells me dig here for gold. But when you get down here, it's just chock full of gravels and nice boulders and little gravel deposits here and there. So I took a sample out of right here on the just out of that main flow right there, and there's a little pile of rocks there. And right where the head of the shovel is there, and I got down the clay in about a foot. And there's some pretty decent gold right here. Look at this. There's what do we got here? Let me get that glare off there. There's 5 pieces in there. And now they're bigger than they were up creek at that other spot there, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I just did a little quick speed pan in here, and it's getting a little late in the day, so I'm not going to spend much time here other than probably slowly walking out of here and maybe checking a spot here or there. And as you can see, there are a number of little waterfalls and logs going across, so there's plenty of spots to choose from, but it really gets thick up in there again, so I don't know if I'm going to do that or get back on that hill and walk out of here. That's a workout, let me tell you, going through all this brush. This stuff here cleared out a little bit, so it's not so bad, but there's definitely gold here to be worked, and I can set my sluice up in here in a number of spots. Absolutely. I haven't been up this, this way here, so it's definitely got potential. You can see that the creek is just absolutely loaded with gravel, so don't ask me why. You walk in the woods and it's just nothing but 2 feet of muck. Hey, Rig. All right. Tell you what, let's take a walk, and if I don't find anything spectacular, we'll pick it back up at the truck. Back in a bit. When you're walking in the woods, keep your eyes out for crystals. Yeah. All right, we made it back to the truck. Boys are happy. They want to stop and get a meat stick or something. And got my backpack off. I did a little snuffer dump here, and it's not bad. For around here, I would say that's pretty good. There's a decent number of pieces in there. Nothing big. I can go out 4 hours west of my house and, you know, absolutely crush what we've got in this pan here today. But I learned a lot about the body of water I was on, where to go, where not to go. And you can't always trust Google Maps, because that was a bust. But walking on the way back, I found a couple of decent spots, and I'm happy with that. I did find another spot I'm gonna bring my big green machine down to and really start shoveling on there. Back in a bit. Well, that's gonna be it for today. Google Maps, I wouldn't say it let me down, but it definitely didn't tell me what the ground was made out of. It did tell me, you know, if there was change in elevations on the body of water that I wanted to go to and prospect today. It just didn't have the right materials in it. There just wasn't enough black sand. We did find a little bit of gold, but not what we were looking for, and it was way too far back. But on the way back, I would say halfway or so, probably almost a mile in, we did find another spot. And I think that one might be worth bringing all my equipment in there and loading up a snuffer jar. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Check out my Patreon page in the description box below. Flower Gold Wizards out.